Hi guys, welcome to Active pro-leanx. Today we'll be talking about all the exercises you need in order to grow a bigger, wider V-taper back fast in terms of width and thickness. We'll also go over all the reps and sets to do for each of these exercises. Now, before we get into the first workout, we must point out the fact that for you to grow your back, you need to engage it, meaning deliberately targeting and squeezing your back muscle instead of your forearms, biceps, or triceps in order to get that contraction and muscle engagement. Now, let's get down to the first exercise, which is the pull-up. The pull-up is an exercise that is good to start your back workout. This exercise works your lats, biceps, and triceps, and the wider your grip, the more you target your lats and engage less of your biceps. First, place your hands at a wide grip, wider than your shoulders, onto the pull-up bar with your hands facing away from you. Then, while hanging in a Y-shaped formation, pull yourself up by making sure that you retract your shoulders and pushing your chest out first in order to keep the engagement onto your lats. Mistakes you want to avoid is throwing yourself back down. You want to make sure that you slightly counter gravity by lowering yourself in a slightly slow and controlled steady tempo in order to keep the intensity on your lats. As you move upwards, lead with your chest. You can ultimately use resistance bands to assist you when pulling up if you find it extremely difficult. Do this for 3 sets with 12 to 15 reps each set. Rest for 90 seconds between each compound set. The next exercise is the standing cable pullover. This exercise is also good at targeting your lats. First, set the pin on the cable machine as high as possible. Then, grab the cable with your arms and elbows straight while bending at an angle of about 45 degrees in order to stretch your lats. While keeping your shoulder blades back and your arms straight, pull the cables down to your hips while bringing your chest up. Then control the movement on the way back up. Repeat the same movement for reps. You can also perform this exercise with a straight bar. Do 4 sets of these for 10 to 12 reps with 90 seconds rest between each compound set. The next exercise is the bent over row. To do this, first bend down to the weight while retracting your shoulders and pushing your chest out. Then, pull the weight with your elbows, making sure that you don't slouch your back while pulling the weight to avoid injuring your lower back. Pull the weight all the way to your sternum, then lower it back down to the midsection of your shins. Always remember to keep your shoulders retracted like with most back exercises to avoid engaging your lower back. Do this for 4 sets with 10 to 12 reps and 90 seconds rest in between each set. The next exercise is the single arm row. Single arm row movements are great for balancing out both sides of your lats. We need to make sure that during the movement we focus more onto the lats rather than the biceps. First, lean against a platform that is just around your waist level. Then, grab the dumbbell while making sure that you retract your scapula. Pull the weight back to your hip, keeping your elbow close to your body. Make sure that you avoid pulling your elbows out or pulling while slouching your lower back. Do this for 3 sets of 10 to 12 reps with 90 seconds rest between sets. The next exercise is the dumbbell pullover. This is another exercise that is effective for building up your back as long as you perform it correctly. To do this, place your shoulder blades onto the bench and be in a perpendicular position to the bench. Then, grab the dumbbell in a diamond form with one hand slightly overlapping the other, making sure that both hands are holding on to the end of the dumbbell. Then, bring the dumbbell over your chest with a slight bend on your elbows. While lowering the weight, sink your hips in order to counter the weight movement. You should feel a stretch to the rib cage and the triceps as well. Then, bring the dumbbell back up in a slow and controlled motion to the point where the dumbbell is slightly above your chest and you feel a squeeze to your lats. Do this for 12 to 15 reps, 3 sets, with 90 seconds rest in between the sets. The next exercise is the lat pull down. First thing you want to do when performing this exercise is you want to hold the bar at a wide grip stance while using the pads to put your legs under in order to keep your body from moving up and down during the movement. Retract your shoulders and push your chest out before pulling the weight. Pull the bar under your chin level, just above your upper chest. Then release it back in a slow and controlled steady motion to keep the lats engaged. Use weight that is heavy enough to prevent you from swinging back and forth in attempts to pull the weight down. Do this for 10 to 12 reps, 3 sets, with 90 seconds rest between the sets. The next exercise is the deadlift. The deadlift exercise is by far one of the best exercises for a thicker back, simply because you are able to lift a lot more weight with the deadlift exercise, and not to mention that it helps connect your posterior chain. To do this, first step to the bar with your feet a little bit wider than hip width apart. Grip the bar wider than where your shins meet the bar. Then lift the weight up by making sure that your chest is pushed out and your lower back is not slouched the entire time. While pulling the weight up, move your hinge forward and pull the weight to a point where the bar meets your waist and you're slightly bent. Make sure you don't end up bending all the way backwards as you are straightening up. You can also use a resistance band in order to add more to the resistance. Do this for 8 to 10 reps, 3 sets, with 90 seconds rest between each set. The next exercise is the seated row. You can perform these on a seated row machine that has a chest support to stabilize your upper body, avoiding the back and forth swing that will affect your lower back. To do these, be seated on the seated row machine while supporting your chest on the pad, keeping your chest pushed out and leaning against the pad. Then, grab the handles either in a pronated or supinated grip. You can alternate between both if the machine has both grip positions. Pull the weight all the way close to your chest, then release it back in a steady tempo to the starting position. Make sure to release it all the way back in such a way that you feel a stretch to your lats while keeping your chest on the pad. Do this for 15 reps, 3 sets, with 90 seconds rest in between each set. The last exercise is the Batwing row. For this exercise, you'll need a slightly inclined bench. Then, lean your chest onto the bench while grabbing the dumbbells in a pronated position. Then, instead of pulling the weight to your hips, pull the weight to the sides in a wing formation all the way to your chest level, then lower the weight back down. Repeat this movement for reps. Do this for 3 sets of 15 reps with 90 seconds rest in between the sets. Now, you can choose to perform these exercises all in one day, but the best approach would be to select at least 4 to 5 of these exercises to incorporate in your workout routine, performing them according to the sets and reps mentioned. We would recommend that you start with the heavy compound movements, then move on to the lighter back exercises. That's it, guys. Hope you found this content helpful. If you did, make sure to subscribe to the channel and click the bell icon to be notified when we release videos just like this one to help you with muscle building and weight loss. Thanks for watching. See you on the next video.